like you mentioned, strength of schedule has been in your favor, but now you could say this is your big test. You're going up against Mega, current champions when it comes to the LST from spring. You've yet to face Win on the other hand as well, and you were able to dominate against Axis, so this is now a statement game to try and solidify you at the top of the standings.
Exactly. But the squad doesn't lie. They're 4-0 right now. You can't discount that. They've only got 3 games left in the regular season for LYB. And on paper, this is the best team. As much as I'm saying that I think this is weighted in Mega's favor slightly, if I had to give a percentage, I'd say it's 60-40 in Mega's favor. That's it. A very slight edge, because this is the titan of matchups in the LST. But LYB on paper, I mean, Dodoy, the hyped-up jungler coming out from Hyperplay. Exison as well, you know, Hexen, been to a World Championship before. Hummer as the previous shot caller and jungler that stepped into the support position to allow Dodoy to play in the jungle. The young blood of Gamsa, who's had a split under his belt. The nerves are gone. He looks very solid in the top lane, with Gary, who's been a solid 80 carry himself in the bottom lane, tying up very well with Hammers. Then you also have Cabbage, the superstar support that has brought teams like Mega, who were previously known as, you know, Ascension, Bangkok Titans, 2 World Championships before. He knows exactly how Rocky, how Lloyd, and how G4 think. He has coached these players multiple times over many years. And I was talking to him before this match, just asking, you know, for his thoughts and opinions of the game today. He thought it's going to be a really difficult match. They have things prepared for today. I'm not going to go into it because he said they might not pull it out, but they have things planned for today, and they're hoping that they can get a quick 2-0 so they don't have to show it. That's exactly what he said. They're hoping it's a quick 2-0 so they don't have to pull out what they've planned for today, and they can save it for the rematch in playoffs. So a lot of confidence coming out from Cabbage. And he also dropped the fun fact of when Timo was picked against his team last week, he immediately told his players, good luck, have fun, you guys got this, and left. He went home. He stopped. He was just like, yep, this game's over, it's a 2-0, I'm going home.
It's like your early night for myself.
He
just can go.
He thought that Timo pick was disgusting.
Wow. Okay, so we take a look here. Bans have come through. We actually have a Pyke ban here on the side of Mega, mainly targeted down toward James, I guess.
LYB are one of the only teams in the league that do play Sona in the bottom lane. And back when it was Sona Taric, we used to see Taric being banned out all the time by teams that played against LYB. Now that it's more towards Sona Pyke, they are taking away that Pyke pick. I don't necessarily agree. I think Duel and Pop have shown before they know how to punish weak bottom lanes. I think they should have just let the Sona Pyke go through, because we've seen them being able to punish similar lanes before.
Yeah, and we do see there's a lot of target bans down toward that bot lane to Pop. You have the Ken, she's not going to be able to keep Duel safe. Getting rid of the Yuumi, we saw how disgusting he can be on that himself. And for LYB, they're going to go ahead and lock in the Ezreal right away, so get some safety, get a decent amount of poke. That does mean, though, that Corki Azir is still up and available as they use the Elise in response to the first pick Olaf.
I would have liked to see Corki come out here if that was going to be Exon's pick into the mid lane. Because they've already shown the jungler of Olaf. You don't necessarily have to pick jungler in return. That's going to be saved. So it really feels like LYB are hiding their draft for now, because they could have gone with a priority pick, but they chose to go for a pick that's not contested. And you were talking about support bans. Tahm Kench, Yuumi, that means Pop's going to play Braum. Those are his 3 champions at the moment. And Braum is one of his staple picks, something that he's very comfortable on. The trivia we like to bring up all the time is during the grand finals when he was rushed from the emergency room to play because there was no substitute available for Mega. He played Braum in all 3 games, and he looked like one of the best players in the team while he was playing Braum as well. I also like that they've gone for Sivir here, because Ezreal's already picked up. We've seen so many times in the LST that when you play Sivir into Ezreal, you tend to get lane priority a lot better. And again, I think this is the lane that Mega are going to be able to attack, the bottom lane. I feel that Sivir and Braum here for Duel should be able to do well against Ezreal, push that lane in, and then allow the top side of the map to do what they do best. If Duel and Pop can be on the aggressive front, push the lane in, draw some jungle attention coming out from Dodoy, and make it so that LYB are struggling in the bottom lane, taking some turret damage, losing CS here and there. That gives so much more room for the aggressive early game and mid game coming out from Rocky, Lloyd, and G4. And they've even picked really well for it. Bottom lane's locked in. They haven't shown their top picks yet. They're going to pick it up after this next ban phase. But they've got Olaf. And Olaf is a very aggressive jungler who can fulfill those roles.
Yeah, pair that up with something like the On the Hunt 2 from that Sivir. We'll be able to get running at you. for LYB, though. They do respond. They're going to go ahead and lock in the Morgana, so going to have that black shield when it comes to the Braum passive during the lane. But it's still a little disgusting. You're seeing that Sivir stats there. Currently almost 90% in the LST.
It's not the LPL, Opal.
Not the LDL.
It's not the LDL either, Opal.
Hey, it's weird, okay?
If you're going to call it the OPL in a second, you're going to get smacked.
I'll just run through all the regions until I get the right one, right? Ooh, all right. So we're going to have a Jace getting locked in for LYB.
I actually want to see if this Morgana pick is not going to go into the bottom lane, because Morgana Ezreal doesn't make too much sense to me against a Sivir Braum, unless it's for team composition. To me, when you say, okay, we pick it for team composition, Morgana, that does well, you know, when you need to protect your backline and you carry, because you do have the Dark Binding and the Soul Shackles. Olaf don't give a damn. He doesn't care about all that, and he's the main backline threat that's already been picked up. It's curious to see if LYB have something interesting for their last pick, or they're just going to use it traditionally to try and pick it to one of the two subtle laners that Mega just showed.
All right, so got Zoe and Camille getting locked in. And for LYB here, do we see the Poppy once again paired with that Elise and look for a very early play toward the top side of the map like we saw in their previous series?
Let's talk about what Gamza did with Poppy. At level 1, he made sure that the opponent was able to push the wave in, so he was underneath his turret. Then he built up a bouncing wave to push a much larger wave in towards his opposition. Comboed that with Dodoy diving on Elise to get first blood. Then he went back to base, saved his teleport while forcing the opposition to use his, and at 7 minutes used it again to the bottom lane to make a big play for himself. So this is what they did with the Poppy Elise combo last time round. Curious to see if that's something they go towards again into another aggressive matchup with Camille. And it's just nice. Camille does like to dive into fights. Poppy has that steadfast presence to stop her jumping into the backline nice and early. Does help with some disruption over the top side of the map. But Mega's picks, Camille, Olaf, and Zoe, top side of the map. Those are pick-heavy champions that we're going to be seeing coming online once they all hit level 6.
Yeah, we'll see here too, especially when it comes to that jungle vision, whether or not Dodoy is going to be able to clear it out and stay safe. Either way, we're going to go ahead, load on in for game 1, Mega versus LYB.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And this Jace pick as well, Opal, kind of shows why they didn't want to go towards the Corki. It's still a poke pick, so it still pairs very well with Ezreal. And now that you've got Morgana, it makes a little bit more sense. Morgana, if she lands a Dark Binding, then that's free damage coming out from Jace as well as Ezreal. So the pick potential from LYB is still very strong with this Elise. And then you've got champions to lock people down even further. Poppy, Jace, as well as Morgana can all contribute to further crowd control if they find a pick in the early, mid, or late game. So it works well. They have some pick here and there, and they've got good siege potential with the poke damage that will come out. G4 might be in some trouble here.
Yeah, G4, he's going to take a Paddle Star, gets it back, looking for that Dark Binding, not going to find it. There's going to be Ignite coming out here, and Exo having to back off. Should be able to, but here comes that Slingshot. It's available, and it's going to force out a flash already from Exo.
Very nice coming out from Rocky. Held on to the Slingshot, just threatening Exerson, trying to get him to use his flash early. But he does hold on to it until the second proc of the E comes out. Flash burnt in the mid lane. Cheeky play coming out from LYB. Mega do react very well, and Lloyd doesn't waste any time. He immediately goes straight in towards the Raptors side of Elise's jungle, takes away a few of her camps.
Yeah. There was a ward down by LYB, though, so they will know the Olaf is in the jungle.
He's just so fast, though. Elise only finished blue buff by the time, you know, Raptors were done.
Wow.
So Dodo's going to be slightly faster.
Is he actually going to... Okay, he's going to go for the Wolves here.
I think this is the smart play from Dodo. Clear out the walls. By the time he's done, then Scuttle Crab will respawn. He can go straight back down towards bottom side, secure that Scuttle Crab. It's unrealistic for Lloyd to make his way all the way over towards red buff now. Even though Olaf clears fast, takes a lot of damage, he'll have to pop both his health pots. He won't be able to fight Elise in a strict one-on-one, and she will have priority when it comes to attacking these camps because she did clear out her jungle first and move straight down there. Dodo very smart here, just clearing out his jungle, knows that he has time, understands what the path is going to look like from this Olaf, understands that he has the higher hit points, so if he does try to pick a fight, suddenly he would be able to win that one, and just immediately clears out the jungle, takes them back in return.
Oh, we see here, he might be actually going for a play in the mid lane. Flash Cocoon not going to land. Looked for the prediction, wasn't able to find it, and during the repel got hit by a Sleepy Trouble bubble. So G4 is going to be able to get back to safety, does have to use his flash.
That's devastating. Using the cocoon in a fashion to predict a flash coming out from G4 means that G4 is able to hold on to the summon spell a little bit longer and escape that gank. But more crucially, this disrupts Dodo's flow. He is going to get 3 buff now. Olaf has been able to clear the entire top side of his own jungle. He's going to go down towards his red buff. He will be able to pick up that red buff as well. And Dodo is only going to be stuck with that blue buff. It's not a devastating situation to be in, but he should get 3 buffed here unless he goes for a return gank towards Zoe.
He's really looking for it. G4 does have flash and does spot out Dodo here. So I do believe he knows.
Yeah, he's pinging it. He knows exactly where Dodo is. So just uses his flash for fun and gets back into the lane.
Well, and we did talk about teams, trying to take those 50-50s possibly against some of these, tough opponents here. Right there, though, for Dodo, that's... If you lose out, you lose any kind of advantage that you could have stirred after, that messy early play in the mid lane. Now you lose out on, like you mentioned, that tying buff there. Now you got 3 buffs over to the Olaf.
The problem is Dodo committed. He flashed in for the cocoon and he took a lot of damage in return for it. So if you're flashing in like that, if you don't get the damage, if you don't get the crowd control, you're in a lot of trouble. Because then you're going to take a lot of damage. You can no longer contest against Olaf. You're not going to get the kill either. You don't have any form of priority. And that means that Lloyd, who spent a lot of his priority to blow flash onto Exerson very early on, can now catch up. You can now farm the jungle, get a 3 buff advantage, pick up an experience advantage, go back to base first, get some items, and start to go aggressive once again. So Dodo committed very heavily. He could have gone for the 50-50 approach and just run in, throw a cocoon, see if he burns a flash, but he decided to commit and try and force that gank. Now you're going to see Olaf try and go top lane.
Oh, we got the slingshot connecting. Gamza is full health. Did use the 3
members of Mega here, though.
Oh, G4 able to connect onto the Battle Star, so the repel's going to come out here. Dodo is going to be just fine. Gamza, on the other hand, though, has to burn the flash to get back to safety. Dodo! What? G4 just walks underneath tower with a quick Battle Star, and he gets the kill.
Yeah, Dodo just not respecting the passive that comes out from Zoe, giving her that extra bit of damage every time she uses a spell on her next auto attack, and just sticking way too close for comfort there. Very nicely played by G4 to understand he could pick up that kill, but a poor play coming out from LYB. Gamza again tried to pull that sneaky move he played last week, setting up the bounced wave, but this time Dodo being preoccupied in the mid lane, couldn't get up there for anything special. But Rocky played it so well. He traded very effectively in the early levels. He then traded very effectively as the minion wave crashed on towards his turret, which means him and Gamza were both low, but Gamza had a much further distance to run if a fight ever broke out. So he had the advantage. You could keep the minion wave there. So when Lloyd came in for the gank top lane, the correct move right there for LYB, once they saw all the members of Mega, is get the heck out of here. Burn flash if you have to, run away. But Dodo just sticking around a little bit too close, a little bit careless almost in that play, but he's still going for ganks here, Dodo.
And Mega knows he's here. There were pings out onto this Elise going through the jungle. That is going to be the binding. Unfortunately, the spell shield didn't connect. Duel underneath the tower is going to get taken down there as Gary's able to find the kill. And a little bit questionable there from Pop and Duel because they did ping out this Elise.
Yeah, Pop seemed to play that very well. He was able to tank some of the damage, tank some crowd control, as well as use his cleanse to get out of dodge there. So nicely played coming out from Pop, but Duel tanking that Dark Binding, not the best of things you want to see when you have Flash as well as the spell shield available for Sivir. Just not respecting the good gank coming out from Dodo. Finally, he needed something to go his way because he's 25 CS behind Lloyd right now.
And that's the thing with Elise. If you don't get the ball rolling early, you just kind of turn into that cocoon bot later on in the game. And guess what? Lloyd doesn't care about your cocoons. Nope. He's level 6 now. He's got Ragnarok. He's going to run through it. He's going to continue stealing your jungle.
They know exactly where Lloyd is, though, because there is a control ward that was placed down, not cleared out by anyone from Mega. So they spotted him walking through this jungle. They know the red buff's being taken away. Nothing much that Dodo could do about that at this moment. He'll get Raptors as well. So he's really just trying to counter jungle, trying to pull out a Moscow 5 almost and just out jungle Dodo and pick up the advantage for Mega in that manner. And through that, as well as the CS lead that we see top lane, they've picked up a nice 1,000 gold advantage. The only lane that's really suffering right now is G4, who is about 14 CS behind Jace.
Yeah, a little bit of a lack there, but you do remember G4 did go for that rotation up toward the top lane, did pick up a kill, so the gold is pretty much even there in mid lane. Exo just having to clear out the waves, hasn't been able to really join anything. I think a big one, though, for LYB is getting that kill down in bot lane against Duel and Popper.
Yeah. Duel already had a CS lead for himself, and it was, pulled back slightly with that kill in the bottom lane, which means that it's now, about a minion wave advantage in favor of Duel. But Gary is doing a very good job of holding his own with the help of Hummers against Pop and Duel. So you don't see that huge discrepancy we see in every other matchup against Mega. However, Mega do have control of the early game, and Duel is a scaling carry, so he's not going to be too worried about not getting ahead. He's completely fine being in the position he is now. You can see a turret plate almost being taken here. He's got good damage on towards that. He's shoving in the waves. He's not afraid to step up here. So it's still relieving pressure. So even though Dodo got that successful gank, it means that they at least forced Dodo to come down into the bottom lane.
Yeah, another connection there on the boomerang from Duel is going to put Gary to half health, and they can continue to siege there and get their first turret plate of the game. 80 gold apiece. Let's look at top lane, though, because we do have Doidoy coming up here to help Gamza. Rocky, though, is pretty far away from any wall, so just there to help exert some pressure here and get a little bit of damage onto the turret. Meanwhile, though, Dragon's going to be picked up here by Lloyd.
He's really happy feeding. Dodo just trying to force these ganks, and I think this is a lot of credit you have to give towards Lloyd right now. Lloyd's been able to counter jungle Dodo so hard, be one step ahead of him, and capitalize on his movements and mistakes so well that Dodo can't farm anything. So he's really forced to gank. He's forced to try and find these plays. And if I was Mega right now, if I was Lloyd, I'd be telling my team, hey, just be safe. Ward up. Push where you can. Don't go too aggressive, because the only thing Dodo could do is gank. And Elise doesn't scale very well into the late game. She is a pick-based champion. Without items, she's not going to have enough damage. She's not a tanky pick. So it's going to be very hard for Dodo to transition out of the mid game now that he's being counter-jungled so hard. And Mega playing this one very well. Although Dodo got one successful gank for himself, it hasn't been enough to pull back that huge lead Lloyd has created for himself.
Yeah, still.
So you see forces like top lane where he's coming out of the bush, Gams is running behind a turret to try and get a wall slam, and it's really not working out.
Yeah, it only works when it's not super telegraphed. And Rocky's been just fine holding that underneath the tower. Even there up in the top lane, they'll have a little bit of a trade back there. Second proc Q didn't land, so Rocky's going to take a chunk.
Hey, he's got Ninja Tabbies now, so Gamza should be able to take this matchup until Rocky picks up his Trinity Force. But of course, Lloyd is close by, ready for a fight in case anything breaks out top lane. Shouldn't, but just ready.
Just nearby. Just saying, all right, you guys can push. Rocky, you're fine for now. Does have now 2 levels on Doidoy. Doidoy did just get level 7, but Lloyd has been continuing to farm up a storm here, and now maybe even looking for this Rift Herald. Hamas, though, has actually rotated all the way up to match Pop here.
Which is great. That's good scouting coming out from LYB, because if you watch their past games, Hamas doesn't leave bottom lane too early on. He likes to stick around there with Gary, and they like to try and pick up the lead there. This is a good reaction play to what Pop tries to do. Accent's fine. Black Shield's going to keep him healthy. Pop loves to rotate for the first Rift Herald, because often what they do is they keep him in Fog of War. They keep him in that brush just on their side of the mid lane until a fight breaks out, and suddenly, when a fight does break out of a Rift Herald, it turns into a 3-on-4 in favor of Mega. And that other teams can't just win that fight because they don't have their bottom lane down there. They're happy to leave Duel in the bottom lane. They're comfortable with him being able to just wave clear and sustain. So bring up the Pop here was nice, but Hamas matching that means it's now a 4-on-4. And although the lead is in favor of Mega, it's still a 4-on-4. They don't want to risk that trade, especially if they're the ones that are trying to push for Herald. They'll take some damage from that too. Doesn't cost them too much though. You can see Duel's perfectly fine bottom lane, just keeping even in CS and keeping this lane off his tower.
Yeah, you know, he's Sivir. He's just doing Sivir things. Farm away. Keep on farming. Nothing should go wrong here. Gary continues to stack up his tier. Gonna start building up that Muramana here quite shortly on his next back. Has the pickaxe already complete. A little bit of a weird back timing it looked like, so you maybe didn't get the full completion there, but all is fine for now. Doidoy, though, still having to be extremely defensive. We'll see if Lloyd gets caught out, though, holding on to his ultimate until the very end there. And unfortunately can't actually take the blasting cone out to safety.
No.
LYB are just nearby. They're going to scout him out, and they escort him out of the
If
jungle.
you're wondering why Lloyd didn't use the Ragnarok early on, it's because of that. If he used it, he can't get towards the blast cone to disengage. So he thought, oh, if it's just Elise, I'd rather just go to the blast cone and run that way. Nice try coming out from G4. That would be a lot of damage if it connected. But smart move from LYB. They at least stem the bleeding slightly. They make it so that now Dodo's picked up his first red buff on his side of the map. So it just disrupts the counter jungling flow that comes out from Lloyd. Allows Dodo to stop the bleeding for now, doesn't fall any further behind, and can now farm up his jungle without the risk of Olaf trying to take away all his camps.
Yeah. Going to try and stem that bleeding a little bit because he's down about 30 CS when it comes to that jungle. See James coming back into this bot lane. One up there was able to eat up one of the bubbles from G4, and that's a nice actual pickup to have, I guess, considering I believe the Morgana was picked before the Zoe, so just having that matchup, you know, especially later on in the game too, if G4 is able to get that random bubble over the wall. If the Morgana is nearby, target shouldn't be blown up immediately.
I think the Zoe pick would have been picked regardless. Morgana, like you said, was shown first, but I don't think Mega really care.
Well, I don't think they care that much, especially if Pop's coming into the mid lane. G4, gotta be careful though. That's gonna be a shock blast. Reconnecting, Doidoi repels over, but can't get on top of this Zoe. Rocky's coming down as well. We're gonna have 5 members of Mega as the Rift Herald is secured by Lloyd. Just there, everyone's saying hello, and everyone disengages there, not taking any risky fights on the side of LYB.
Well, they burn a flash coming out from Exton. Nice play. Pop missing that Winter's Bite wasn't that great. But it will be a Rift Herald for a Dragon play, and LYB will happily take that second Dragon for themselves, just equalizing the one that Mega picked up earlier. Not many turret platings have been taken either by either team. Not what I wanted to say. I had something I wanted to say. What was it?
Oh.
Something about this video game.
Wow. Rift Herald just getting popped here in mid lane.
Forcing it. They're going to try and see if they can take this one down, and they do. That's a cheeky play coming out from Mega.
They say, all right, you want to take that mountain? Well, we already got one, so we'll just take your mid lane tower and open up the midsection of the map.
Gives them a 2,000 gold lead while they're at it. Remember what I wanted to say. Zoe pick would have been picked regardless, even if, you know, Morgana wasn't shown or anything. But they don't care because the Mega top side going to play towards the top lane. Not going to worry too much about that support coming up there.
Duel. Trying to avoid
Good
now.
stun,
Oh,
Pop.
Nicely done.
This is why they are the best duo in the bottom lane. They work so well together, Opal. A lot of other teams would have botched that attempt. Duel and Pop both knowing they needed to get the auto attacks down to get the stun. If not, Duel was just dead. Very well played coming out from Mega, protecting Duel, not even forcing him to burn his flash.
We'll still see a little bit of harassment coming out from LYB. Fortunately for them, this entire time, they've been pushed in underneath their tower. The one little breath they get are going for a play. Able to find it.
He stole that.
Oh, wow. Okay, Gary. He's like, all right, thanks for the free Krug.
Free 70 gold. Very nicely played. It's a cheeky play. Gary's going to be pretty happy. I mean, he's not falling as far behind as the other laners that have played against Duel so far. Sivir does do very well into this matchup anyway, so it's already a difficult one for Ezreal. He's already got his Iceborne Gauntlet too.
On top of that, too, it's a Klepto Ez. So even though they're a wave or two down, that's still made up from the items.
Yeah, when we see the gold discrepancy later, he's going to have much more gold in his pocket. But free boots coming out from Sivir, none coming out from Ezreal. Surprising. He doesn't go for the free boots route.
That's true. Duel actually picking up the free boots there.
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought that he would have definitely gone towards it.
What else is in that tree?
I don't remember. I don't know. Just take free boots. That's it.
Be either the stopwatch or... What's the other thing in that? No, I don't know. Odd little pickup. Gary's fine, though. Did finish off his Iceborne Gauntlet. We do now see, though, the U moves coming out in mid lane for this Jace, so the Shock Blasts are going to start hurting a little bit more. Loons, though, on the other hand, picked up here for G4, so he has got already a decent of upfront burst if he lands just one of those combos. Oh, Pop getting aggressive here. Doesn't land the Winter's Bite. Lloyd is nearby, but...
Yeah, just cheeky plays. Duel was able to get a good trade against James, making it hard for him to step up, and Pop was ready to go in, based on the fact that Lloyd was close behind, so if they did start a fight, Jungler was there to follow up.
Ward there for LYB. Just going to spot out Lloyd, though, as he returns back into his jungle. Do start to see Mega, though, starting to push up a little bit of the ward coverage into the jungle now of Doidoi, especially on the bot side of the map. We should start seeing that rotate toward the top side now that Baron's going to be coming up in about 2.5 minutes. And that's the one perk of getting this early tower in mid lane is you can start getting a little bit more influence here around these Raptor camps and be able to push up here and try and provide a little bit of mystique as it would be there. But Ragnarok going to be popped here. Oh, Doidoi, that's a decent amount of damage coming on back. Shock Blast does connect here from Exo. Pop is nearby. He's just going to slow them down. So no summoners burned here on the side of Mega as they get the Raptors cleanly.
Very cautious coming out from both these teams. They don't want to commit to a full-on fight in case it turns the opposite way. So both of them just focusing on disengaging. I think this is helping out Mega a lot because they've got that late game insurance at bottom lane. The longer they farm up, the better it's going to be for them.
Yeah, the whole time here, majority of your gold lead is kind of just on this Olaf. He's got the 40 CS over this Elise. You take a look at the gold difference, we're sitting at almost 2,500 in Mega. And they only got that additional tower. It's not like they got a massive amount of towers already claimed on the map. And that's probably why it feels like LYB almost hesitating to pull the trigger when they do almost find these picks, because one bad move here, now that you close in on 20 minutes, it can cost you a lot of early gold now.
See, Lloyd might be in trouble.
Oh, Lloyd has to flash away. We're starting to get a little bit more aggressive here onto the Olaf.
Good play from Lloyd, though. Just dodges the cocoon and casually flashes over just to make sure that he's going to be safe. Good catch coming out from LYB, understanding that he's walking through a very dangerous path through the mid lane jungle. Sorry, through the river.
W4 just going to go ahead clear out these minions once again with those loons. Easy to do so with just one Battle Star combo. See here, Doi up toward the top side of the map. We got James trying to look for a ward actually in behind the Dragon Pit. So trying to scout out if Lloyd's going to try and make a sneaky play toward this bot lane. Just trying to find where Lloyd is going to try and strike here on the side of Mega. Because now it's starting to get to the point where both sides almost stagnated. They're not too sure exactly what they want to do, and it feels like it's going to be up to the jungles to be the ones that actually influence it.
Yeah, I think for LYB, they're really trying to find a pick because Dodoi is being put behind by Olaf. He needs to try and find that single pick for his team and open up an advantage here, whereas Mega, very comfortable just going with the motions of the game. They've got bottom lane turrets set up to be taken down later on. They've got a CS lead, in their jungle, a massive CS lead at that. G4 might be in trouble here, though.
Oh my god! Doi just gets evaporated. Easy combo. Here comes that Poppy, though. Wants to try and rejoin in onto the fight, but...
Extra got away.
Oh, no. They got away. Pop is going to get freely here. James now is caught out toward the side. G4 picks up another kill. Exo, though, able to tag the target as Gary, though, takes him down. A double kill on this Ezreal. And nicely done from LYB. They're going to trade back 3 for 2.
Yeah, 3 for 3. 3 for 2 trade goes in favor of LYB, but it shouldn't have. Exocet should have died there, but they pulled up to try and help the rest of the team. However, that was a 4-on-5. The entire time this fight was taking place, Rocky had no teleport available for him, so he was just stuck top lane, takes a turret. I'd say net advantage goes towards Mega there, because trading a turret for a kill is definitely going to be in favor of Mega. They should be pretty happy about that, but a bit sloppy when it came to the execution. They should have been able to kill Exit and not allow him to get away for free like that.
Did see the teleport used by Duel to just keep that mid lane tower secured. Meanwhile, bot lane, though, they will trade back their first tower of the game on this Ezreal, as Gary currently has the gold lead across the teams by about 500.
Nice. And as well as the fact that he just got 3 kills.
Yeah, no.
So Gary's going to be pretty happy about that. So this will be the first test for Mega. What do they do when Duel doesn't pick up a 50 CS lead? It's the first time we haven't seen him ahead.
Now
He's
it's
not
Lloyd.
far. He's only 1,000 gold behind Ezreal, but Ezreal has 3 items. There's a big spike for Ezreal. If I was LYB, I'd start looking for these fights. I'd start setting up to knock down top lane and mid lane turret, both of which are very low. And in fact, if they get both before bottom lane gets knocked down, that's an equalized gold lead.
Let's take a look here, because Doi doesn't actually get hit by the bubble.
This starts very well. Surprising that Dodoi still walks towards this, because they know exactly where G4 is. He just gets popped. I thought that he would have played this one much better and stayed back, but throwing the cocoon onto a Ragnarok Olaf is not great. This entire time backline, James does a good job of keeping everyone occupied while everyone follows through. But look at Exton. Lloyd's just like, well, he just got away for free. I don't know what happened there. Well played from the up. They split the fight. They understand Exton has to make his own way out. They almost sacrificed him to try and get those extra kills, and that was, I believe, the call. But at the end of the day, fancy footwork, is able to get him over that Dragon Pit, gets him back to safety. And really well played coming up for James to hold up the entire bottom lane just to allow Gamza a bit more time to reposition after his teleport.
We'll see here now with Baron available. Omega pushed up toward the top side of the map, gotten all the wards down.
This is smart coming out from Mega. They have put their AD carry in the mid lane. Duel's going to be able to keep that off the turret indefinitely. Zoe is top lane. This is crucial. Zoe doesn't have teleport, so Rocky with the teleport advantage can teleport to a top lane play around the red buff. So Zoe just has to continue clearing out these waves. Don't allow it to get too far into his side of the map so that they can't push for a turret. and Rocky just needs to play safe and get ready to use that teleport. They've got an advantage in teleport for the next few minutes. Nothing LYB can really do for that amount of time.
Oh, look at that. That's actually going to be the ultimates popped here by Duel. Looking for a pick onto LYB. Not going to find it, though. Gary backs off.
Yeah, that's fine. He's got some cooldown reduction from Essence Reaver. And on the Hunt, it's not on a very long cooldown anyway, so he'll be pretty comfortable with doing that. LYB doing the right thing as well, making sure they clear out the wards in that red side of the jungle. Look at Lloyd just hiding behind the bush because he knows if he's in there, he's going to take a lot of damage for it. So nicely played.
Gamza down in the spot lane, starting to get a pretty tanky Poppy built up here. Duel, all right, on top of him. That's going to be the Elise. Wants to turn this one back around, but nice combo coming out as Gary comes around the corner, forcing out the spell shield. Doidoi finds a double kill.
Beautiful rotation coming out from Doidoi, able to wrap around the path that Duel was going to take. Takes him down nice and clean, but poor positioning from them again. I mean, not sure why they're there, but what the heck's going on? Why are they going to die?
Doidoi. Redemption comes up. Was in stopwatch, though. James almost gets taken down by Lloyd.
Okay, well, salvage play comes out from Mega. Stops them from being able to pick up anything more than just the 2 kills onto Pop as well as Duel. Misplay coming out from Pop and Duel, but this means that they pulled Gamza over for nothing. They called him up because they said, we've got 2 kills. Turn this into a 5-on-2, and we can take Baron. Well, they do trade back for a turret in the top lane as well.
Yeah, we see EXO making his way, was able to knock down the first tier tower. Lloyd tries to come up, but is caught out by a control ward, so just going to clear that one out himself. Ward's in the river, though, and the scuttle actually picked up by LYB, so they're not too much of a panic here. They'll slowly push back out and clear out that vision. Meanwhile, like we saw, Rocky was down in that bot lane, was able to pick up the first tier tower. And Duel goes back into his post here in mid lane, continues to farm up a storm. We are going to have Infernal also now coming up here shortly when it comes to our next dragon.
But the game's been completely reset here, Opal. Now it's come down to composition. Who has the better composition for the next few plays? Gam's teleporting is coming back up, so he's going to be able to split push against Camille. But big item pickup coming out from Rocky. He went towards the Ravenous Hydra, not Titanic Hydra. So a little bit less tanky on this Camille, but he's going to have the sustain as well as the wave clear to be effective in that split push against Gamza. Well, Doidoi going over the wall. He's in trouble now.
Goes extremely aggressive. Pop instantly putting up the shield for the True Shot Barrage and finds the knock up onto Doidoi. And that's going to be a dead squashed spider, as that's going to be the kill going on over to Duel.
Not done yet, though. Ooh, Gary wanted some more. Didn't connect with the Q.
Lloyd? Maybe a little too far forward. Gets the stopwatch off, but he's going to get Dark Binding, and that's going to be a quick and easy pickup and response.
Here comes Zoe.
Both jugglers not able to survive here. EXO now caught off toward the side. G4's nearby. He flashes on forward. He's going to be able to help find themselves a quick and easy kill. Duel actually getting the kill credit there.
Yeah, they caught out Lloyd, but Duel's able to flash forward. Siv's passive means if you auto-attack a champion, you're able to get increased movement speed. Poppy going for it. Bye-bye.
You know, brings down the ultimatum, and Gamza says go away.
That's why Rocky's item choice is crucial. You can see right there, in a trade against Rocky takes no damage because he's got sustained from Ravenous Hydra, and the extra damage means that he is able to obliterate Poppy's health bar. This puts a lot of threat into that one-on-one matchup in the bottom lane, giving Mega the split push advantage. LYB just desperate times, desperate measures, it feels, but they're not that far behind. They shouldn't be playing that desperate that they're relying on a flash cocoon from Doidoi in a precarious situation.
No, because in all honesty, this is one of our closest games in the LST so far in summer.
This is the closest game.
Like, it's only a 2,000 gold lead at 26 minutes. And it's been consistently that. LYB have been making it so it hasn't grown out of control. Usually that's what we see from Mega when they get even small advantages in the lane. It's been mainly riding here on Lloyd because he's been power farming. James, well, what? G4?
The Duck Binding locked G4 down.
Okay.
As he flashed over the wall.
Ooh, True Shot Barrage coming through. They're going to spot out. Infernal Drake's been started. Oh, G4.
Siv's got 3 outs, but G4's almost dead.
G4. Oh, he gets back to safety. Do they actually go for this fight, though? Zoe doesn't necessarily have to be on that front line, but they're just going to go ahead and sacrifice the Camille. Infernal Drake, though, is secured by Mega at the trade of only 1 life.
Yep, trading 1 person for an Infernal Drake, but again, it was just G4 out of position, catching him off guard, poking him out to next to no hit points. Means that LYB can say, you know what, we can force this fight. Sure, Zoe's got long range, but if she comes back in, a single Q come out from Ezreal means that Zoe's dead. Not a bad trade. Infernal for 1 life this late in the game. It's not horrible. But Mega need to tighten up this game plan a little bit because Duel's item combination is online. 2 damage items, 75% crit, rapid fire cannon for that first crit to go through as well. They've got a good composition together to take these fights, but they need to stop getting chunked out before they can take it. And they've got good pick potential too. They need to start rotating and controlling vision well enough in a way that forces Leo to make some risky decisions like face checking so they can get a pick before the fight even starts. Leo holding on to this game very well, and Gary's been putting up a fantastic performance despite the fact that he's now 50 CS behind, as you know, Duel always dictates.
Is a Sivir, understandable. Though that is 330 CS at 28 minutes. That's a little bit ridiculous coming out from Duel.
No, Duel is ridiculous when it comes to farming.
Look at LYB here, starting to step up. They want to clear out the vision that was established here by Mega around the Baron pit. Still got to deal with that one control ward that's going to see both of these members going back.
Throw an axe. Okay, not that way, but okay.
Yeah, clears out the buff. Meanwhile, mid lane finally going to be cracked here by LYB as Duel had to go back to base.
About time. What is Duel building towards now? He's got another Infinity Edge.
Is he going for a Bloodthirster?
I believe so. I think it's a smart play, especially with all the poke that comes out from LYB and all the in-your-face damage that will come out from LYB.
Ooh, Gary, though, he
aggressive.
doesn't care what he's building.
Oh.
Gary also, the item build, usually what we see from the Ezreals is we see that third item, Luden's Echo. This time around, though, went immediately
Straight
into the
damage.
Bork. He says, all right, you know what? I'm going to have to carry this game. I'm going to need a little bit of a lifesteal to accomplish it.
He's accelerated. If he was doing okay, I would say that, you know what, the Luden's Echo makes sense here because he could then just poke with Exocet. But because he was so far accelerated in his last item purchase, going damage makes a lot more sense, especially items like Mercurial Scimitar and Blade of the Ruined King to deal with the damage that will, no matter what, come out from Olaf and Camille. Because you can't kite those 2 champions. They will be on your face at any point in time during a team fight. So you need some way to sustain through the damage that they can deal.
They're on top of this ward here, so Exo gets a free shot.
Uh-oh.
Look at this. They're being cautious.
Ooh, that didn't spot him out.
Well, Pop is going to stop back here. G4 just going to pop the ghost he was picking up in lane. Again, both teams. One member gets caught out a little too far, but the rest of the team doesn't want to make anything happen of it.
It's a reset again. It's going to go back down to Mega have the superior split pushing threat with Camille going for damage items, but the team fight starting to look like it could go in LYB's favor. Sure, Sivir is a big threat in team fights, but Ezreal's well and truly online. Jace is doing fine. Poppy's a big threat as a frontline tanky tank. Only question is how much can Dodoy provide in these fights, seeing that he is far behind on this Elise right now.
We could also see Duel, maybe we mentioned Bloodthirster could be going GA. He still has the stopwatch.
True.
If he wanted to build that. I feel like, though, if you're dead in these fights, you're likely dead completely. Unless Pop is able to shield him for a very long time.
I'd like a Bloodthirster coming out from Duel. It makes a lot more sense to me. Well, let's see what he does build towards.
Gary. Get a little far there. Rocky's nearby. He's starting to rejoin the team. Again, this is a pretty lethal Camille. Like you mentioned before, didn't go Titanic Hydra, went Ravenous. So has a lot of upfront burst damage when it gets that enhanced Q. G4 and Mega just stalking around this Baron. That's a very dark jungle here on the side of LYB. They're able to get a quick check, though, with that Shock Blast. Sees that the Baron isn't actually attacking anything. And, oh, no, Doy.
That's disgusting.
That upfront damage from G4 is going to be able to find the kill, but that will be the immediate call onto the Baron.
It's the perfect target to chunk out to the jungler, the squishy jungler coming out from LYB, which means that smite is now so much more risky, forces LYB to try and get to a fight. Mega should disengage and fight this.
Mega.
They're going to force it.
They go in, and Doy steals the Baron on the Elise with barely any health. Trades 1 life for a Baron. I think LYB are happy.
Oh, no, that's exactly why I said Mega should disengage and fight this. Dodo's already so low. You want to take a 5-on-5 fight there? Perfect time to do so when they are that low.
Doy also didn't smite that. He stole it with Q.
No, he had to smite it.
His smite was on cooldown.
Yeah, there's 2 charges.
Oh, yeah, true charges.
Hello?
I'm getting... Last time we saw a Baron steal, it was a Karthus Q, all right?
There's a smite.
Either way. That's going to be third Dragon in retaliation from Mega.
That's just a consolation prize.
Yeah.
At this point, LYB are going, right, that is our way back into this match. Dodoy has made up for his early game deficit. But Mega, that was a misplay from them. Gams are teleporting in. That should be Rocky time to go. Right here is where they go, we're disengaging, we're fighting. But they decided to continue to fight. Lack of vision doesn't show them where Dodoy is.
Yeah, he doesn't have Smite. He doesn't have Smite. It was a Smite coming out from the Olaf.
Did he really?
He got it with just the Q.
Oh, God, Mega. Come on.
Lloyd ends up smiting early.
Oh, boy.
That's rough, especially when you make the call for that. Now LYB with 4 Baron buffs. What are they going to be able to do with it is the question. You got to deal with now, again, trying to push in here.
Oh, my
Lloyd,
Lord.
geez.
Gary is on line 4-0-4. Ezreal is found, however.
Gary able to sidestep away, has the happy feet. Duel pops the ultimate,
They wanna go
rushing
for
in.
this? Ooh.
Rocky's nearby, though, so this is rather risky. Gamza maybe wants to go in for a re-engage. Decent chunk of damage. Binding's going to land. That forces out the cleanse off the Braum. And once again, True Shot Barrage. With this, they should be able to siege this down immediately, and Mega have to give it up.
Look at how effectively LYB are playing this one. Disengaging, trying to push back in, then going straight for the siege. But Dodoy, Gary in trouble this time.
Gary going down low. The ricochets. Not able to take him down. Redemption's going to be used immediately,
He'll
so
be
gets him
fine.
back to half health. And with, of course, the lifesteal and the kit, should be able to get back. Exo going to go back to base. We see now 5th item online for Duel. He went with the Bloodthirster option. Got GA now completed 2 for Lloyd.
This game is on a nice edge. Mega not
yeah.
refusing to give up that lead, but when you're 60,000 gold in, 1,000 gold means nothing. It's not even 1,000, it's less than that. Gams is going to be able to sustain this top lane fight as well. Now you got to think, okay, Rocky really needs a pick. He's not tanky at all in this Camille. Gamza is a huge tank. Duel almost needs to sell that stopwatch and get a, his armor penetration item, because he's not going to be able to cut through Gamza. Gamza just sits on Duel's face. He's in a lot of trouble in these fights.
That's going to be also a GA completed here for Gary. So Gary's at full item build now. That being his 6th item. Rocky nearby also has his GA. So we're going to have some very lengthy fights coming up here now with all GAs available.
And LYB need a force now. This is the time for LYB to fight, because Gary's items are not getting any better. Use this spike while they have it. Duel's items are a lot more expensive. You can see he's only 2,000 gold behind. His items are a lot more expensive as well. So try and fight now while Gary has the advantage. Mega do a good job of sustaining still. Only 1,000 gold being picked up off the back of that Baron. So defended very well against LYB.
Well, it's really hard to siege in. There's just so much wave clear available. Yeah, you're at this point. The Zoe clears it out with just a Pal Star. You got Duel, who is literally the definition of wave clear in Sivir.
These two teams will probably just wait for Baron to come up again before we see our next big fight.
Oh, that's the thing, too. We haven't actually seen a proper 5v5.
True.
We've seen a skirmish around the Dragon Pit where one person got caught out early, and then we saw 1 or 2 people sacrifice their lives. We've never seen the full team fight just yet.
Mega still have the advantage because Gamza's the real tank for the team, that if Zoe's able to land any good combo against anyone from the side of LYB, or even a good paddle star is enough, they will be able to chunk them out, because everyone else is very squishy coming out from the side of LYB. So there is a chance that they can go for that pick just using Zoe, or the damage just using Zoe, and then bring in the rest of the team.
See, Fish in there with the bubble. Just trying to catch out Gary or Doy. Blue buff going to be rotated over here as Exo and them should be able to clear it up. So Jace going to have that online. Gamza's rotating over, get into a choke point, but bubble not going to be thrown too far forward. G4 still looking for it. Gamza got to be careful. He just walked directly into that brush. Has to pop the steel plate immediately. Has the ultimate available. Knocks by 2 people. That's going to be 2 ultimates used here on both sides.
This is a good time for LYB to try and take this fight.
Oh, Lloyd going down to half health is going to survive, though. And once again, both teams throw everything at 1 or 2 people. But they're just
Lloyd?
not able to fight. Lloyd, you're too far forward. Goes into GA. Pop is taking a decent amount of damage. He has to give up his jungle. Lloyd going to be taken down into the wall. And Mega now down a player. Redemption gets the team back to a decent amount of health. Are they going to try this Elder Drake?
Yeah, good play coming out for G4 to try and chunk out Gary, but lots of heals coming out from both his lifesteal as well as the redemptions being used there. Mega, they might try and force this fight because Elder Drake is being taken here by LYB.
Oh, Exo taking a decent chunk of damage. Bubble is not going to land. Gamza down to about 1,000 health, 5,000 on the Elder. Pop wants to separate the fight. Doidoi has to use the stopwatch. G4 over on toward the side of the wall. Isn't able to do enough damage just yet. And that Elder is somehow still alive, ticking down. But Mega are able to defend, and they look to steal it away. Gary now goes for hell, because unfortunately, he's going to get taken down. The flash forward from Duel. It's going to be a quick quadra on the Sivir.
You can't fight like that if you are LYB, because Mega still have the capability to deal enough damage to your backline. The only tank they have is Gamza, whereas Mega, they can put Rocky forward and say, Mega can put Pop forward and say, you know what, I've got a Braum, I've got a nice big shield for you, buddy, and just let Duel go to town on this AD carry. Well defended coming out from Mega. They stopped the Dragon, which LYB focused so heavily on. They're going to take the game here.
Yeah, saw the Elder spawn, but it was a trap all along, and Mega able to clean out game one. Still dead even the entire way.
Sure, I'd say it was weighted in Mega's favor for most of that match, given that they had the gold lead. They played very well in the early game, and then losing that Baron kind of slowed them down. Good pick coming out from LYB to try and force the fight. It was the right time to do so, but as soon as the disengage came out, that's when you have to go, we need a reset. They don't have the sustained damage to deal with a prolonged fight against Sivir as well as Braum. They need to set up again. They need to go, well, okay, let's wait for them to come back out, poke someone out of that fight, then we go in once more. But they weren't able to do that. They weren't patient enough. They rushed that Baron. They took so much damage inside that Dragon Pit.
Yeah.
So much.
Well, you saw the Elder spawn up there, and you're like, oh, yeah, Elder, let's go do it. Again, Elder, first Elder, you know.
It's not so much damage coming from Elder. It does hurt. And they don't have the tanks to deal with it because the game's just trying to slam people on the walls.
Yeah.
But it's more of Sivir will just go, well, that's fine. I'm just going to throw my W, and now everyone in your backline is going to take 500 damage of crit every single time one of those hits them. So they just get chunked out slowly, and they don't know what hit them.
Well, on top of that, too, Pop realizing during that play, split up the entire team, because LYB then was caught into two different sections of the map. You had your two, your Elise and your top lane kind of stuck in the pit, just taking damage. Doidoi was trying to, stay alive as long as possible.
Yep.
End up using the stopwatch to use everything he possibly could. We're going to take another look at it.
So this is Lloyd first, getting chunked out massively. You can just see, the combination of lots of damage over time. Gamza's going to be fine here. He's going to get jumped on by everyone. This was a big misplay. Like, why are you trying to kill a Poppy with all those resistances, with Black Shield, with ultimate knock people away? That's the first mistake coming up, LYB, blowing everything on towards trying to kill Gamza. Then Lloyd takes a chunk here. Melanomicon gets some work done, and they'll eventually take him down. That's how the fight started. We're a little bit early here. Just so check your watch, see what time it is. And
This right there.
Yeah, Lloyd gets chunked out. So nothing much you can do. Lloyd is dead. You cannot save him. He's just dead. Let the Olaf die.
Oh,
dead man. Okay, done. This way you guys, LYB. We need a reset. Gary's low, so really good redemption coming out. Just let him use his Q to poke out for hit points. That's it. You don't want to try and take this fight. Because look at everyone from Mega. They're gearing up for this. They're like, all right, get Duel in position. We can go for a fight. He's got the Zeke's Harbinger to get good damage. And G4 gets a nice chunk of Exeter. That's like, well, now we can take this. Because Gam said, Doidoi, what are you doing in the Dragon Pit? Exeter can't get there. Gary can't get it to the fight. And suddenly, Duel's just chunking out everyone on your team. G4 the entire time trying to separate them and get some good poke damage to the back lines. Buys time for his team too. But the whole thing was that separation. And the fact that Duel was allowed access to multiple members of LYB with those ricochets was picking up easy damage, prolonging that team fight, and getting the quadra kill in the back half of it.
Yeah. Those long, prolonged team fights. We were waiting for that, actual team fight to come out here.
And that's why I say it was still weighted in Mega's favor.
True.
Sea of Blue, up and down, but they did have a nice 3,000 gold lead 20 minutes in against LYB. So now the question is, does Cabbage have to pull out one of those drafts? Because he wanted a quick 2-0 today.
Yeah.
He said he has something prepared against Mega. Doesn't want to show it so he can save it for playoffs. But if he wants to win this match, they might have to. Because it seemed like Mega had their number at the start of this match.
Yeah. Again, it was a slow-paced game, though. No one wanted to take really any extreme risks. Hell, even like half risks, though. MVP going to go over to Duel there, sitting on 91 kill percentage for the team.
I would have given it to Pop, but I think Duel also did a very good job. I don't think he stood out in this game as he has in others, but still very good performance in that final team fight. Lloyd was a contender with his early game jungling, but that missed smite just threw him out the window, so goodbye. But yeah, Duel and Pop in the bottom lane. I think we should just give it to both of them. Bot lane should just both get it. Having a very good match. Very well played.
A combo MVP as it would be.
Double MVP.
Double MVP there. I think for Mega, though, for once it was weird not seeing them really excel a gold lead early on in the game. Because we saw Lloyd was dominating the jungle there.
Again, LYB are no pushovers. They know how to play the game. They know how to stall out an early game and did so successfully against Mega. So well done to stall out the game. Well done to find their way back into it. But they did put a lot of eggs in that early game basket, especially top side, and Elise just got run through the jungle by the Olaf. That's a pick I don't want to see these two teams let go, because both junglers just know how to use it so well.
Yeah, you saw you can put all your eggs in the basket on Gary, but he can't team fight the entire team. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, it's going to be game 2 between Mega and LYB.